Something I'm going to say is that I don't care what your identity is. And by that, I mean your identity is not the core function of who you are. It's not how I look at you. You know, if you're white, if you're black, if you're Spanish, if you're Asian or Native American, gay, straight, lesbian, transsexual, none of those things to me speak to anything other than this is a piece of you, right? What I look at for most people is their actions, right? It's a combination of what they say and what they do, how they treat others. I think I think any rational person would hear that statement and go, you're right. That's a good way to judge people, right? Well, there was a really interesting Twitter space today that popped up, and the title of it was YT people deserve nothing. Share the space. Chill. Hashtag Mayo monkeys gotta go. And what it was it was a totally full room of people of color berating white people. And even at one point, one of them says, he was like, I support the genocide of white people. Like, you throw all those motherfuckers in a gas chamber and you just, turn that on full blast. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever listened to. And there's plenty of people in that Twitter space that were just like, they weren't there to support it. They were there to be like, what the hell? And for those who don't know, Twitter space is Twitter's answer to essentially Clubhouse, where you can go in, start a room and talk with people. You can have up to 10 speakers and as many listeners as you want. It's crazy. And this particular one was insanely racist. It was not only like racist towards white people, but it was racist towards people who were maybe in support of like white people. It was a very, very, very bizarre thing, and very bizarre to see it like a public, like right out in the open. And I understand that racism exists. This like episodic racism that's going on. But what's interesting is what I see on the left a lot of times, people self-proclaim like Democrats and empaths. What I see is that they create rooms like this in the open, and they illustrate an opposite systemic problem from what they're actually fighting. It is truly the most bizarre thing in like this weird upside down world. I don't know why we're at this point. You would think in 2021, almost 2022, that most people could get along and we could probably separate our differences, but this is just not true. When you have like, I mean, there was a couple thousand people in this room. With like 10 of them talking. Now again, 10 people don't represent the whole, but I see this a lot. What I don't see is the opposite. I don't see rooms full of white people disparaging black people the way they are. We need to figure out a way to bridge the gap, or maybe this is the blessing in disguise, right? Because you see stuff like this happen and they're just exposing themselves for who they are, right? They're showing their hand when they're saying, I am racist. So please don't bother putting me in a civilized society. We're not going to get anywhere. Like these people I don't think these people represent the whole at all. But this is abhorrent behavior. Calling for the extermination of white people? Like what? In a public forum? In a free public space? Now, and here's the thing. I'm not necessarily a free speech absolutist, but this is the reason that like freedom of speech exists, because you have people like this who need to be exposed for the racists they are. Let them say all that stuff. They sound stupid. I'm just sitting over here like, oh my God, I can't believe people actually say stuff like this now. They're just going to dig their own grave. What's up, Eric? Excuse me. Yeah, man, it's a wild world that we are living in right now. And again, you know, and I keep coming back to this. I keep wondering, like, is Twitter any form of like measurement? Like, can I find the pulse?
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Yeah.
Eric Valhalla. I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls lately, getting ready for Elden Ring. Praise the sun.
Nice, Eric. And thank you for the prime, buddy. Thank you so much. Welcome to prime time, bitch. I missed a couple of things that you guys said, so I'm going to go back and try and read them. My dad and I have the same general approach to life. Once you're an adult, it's your life, your choice. Just don't force it on minors and leave me the fuck alone. You're very right. There's way too much there's way too much of this, like, and that's why I said these broad sweeping policies that people are trying to push for, like on the national